to collect taxes largely off of tobacco imports and exports. Warwick Town was built as a result of that legislation. This became the county seat of Warwick County. All of the towns were designated to be 50 acres large. They all pretty much had a consistent site plan.
Yes. They all were regimented, as the British can be.
Yeah. We have one very badly faded map of one of the other towns, which is, we were hoping to get more than that, but maybe we'll be able to build a site plan out of what we're doing here.
So we have very, very little to go on. As some of you know, the records for this part of town were burned during the Civil War.
Yeah. 1682 is when construction was started. There are very few historic documents. In 1691, some of the few historic documents we have indicate there was a courthouse, a jailhouse, a mercantile, a tavern.
Docks.
There were docks.
A rooming house.
A rooming house, several domestic structures, and a tobacco barn. So we kind of knew what we were looking for. Then we had to go out and start taking a look and see if we can find it.
Yeah.
Warwick Town was a relatively small village. As the peninsula started to develop, it developed more of a dense population closer to the inside of the peninsula rather than out here, what would become the boonies. You know, we were out here in the country.
Yeah, roads traffic started taking over.
So eventually, by the early 1800s, it became a hassle to come out this way to do your business. So there was a local petition drawn up, and they petitioned the government to move the seat of Warwick County. So it was, they were successful, and Warwick Town was closed. You know, it lost its value as a
township
and as a county seat. So the courthouse was moved.
And those of you familiar with the area, it was moved up to Denby, where Old Courthouse Way, 1810 courthouse, and then it was replaced by the 1884 courthouse, both of which we are still fortunate to have. And I want to say right here that, just because I like the drama, I think it was a lot of a power struggle between the families here and the families up there. So
one of the primary families of Warwick Town were the Youngs. They owned the mercantile, they owned the tavern, and when the town was closed down in 1813, the Youngs took it over as a farm, and they farmed it till the late 1820s, early 1830s.
Probably a little bit more.
Yeah. So
in the 40s.
So we realized that when they started farming Warwick Town, one of the things they most likely did was disassemble the town. They would recycle the boards, they robbed it of brick. So not only were we looking for Warwick Town, but we were looking for a town that had been intentionally disassembled and moved somewhere else. So what we're finding was what remained deep in the ground. It had been put under plow obviously by the Young family. So we weren't quite sure what we were going to find out here. After the Young, probably at the end of the Young family's ownership of the property, there is a Civil War contingent that goes on out here. Both the Confederacy and the Union occupied the landform. We're not aware of any battles or skirmishes. However, the earthworks were built and used by both, to keep an eye on the James River area. And the next real historic event is in the early 20th century.